Well, well, well. Just when I thought isekai was at an all-time low and had nowhere to go but up, Japan decides to lay this shit on me. I mean, come on, people. I thought Isekai Cheat Magician was as low as we'd go, but here you are proving me wrong in the worst possible way. Somehow, despite my constant checking and obsessing, this anime managed to sneak out like 5 episodes before it came to my attention. So me, being the stinky dum-dum that I am, clicked on episode 1, excited that not only I had a new isekai to watch, but I could even binge watch a few episodes at once. Episode 1 came and went, and I thought to myself, well, yeah, that wasn't amazing, but some anime can pick up later on. Episode 2 was the same story, and by the end of episode 3, this sinking feeling had set in. This anime wasn't getting better, in fact, just the opposite. Defying all expectations, High School Prodigies just kept getting worse with every new episode, which led me to making today's video. High School Prodigies Have It Easy in Another World is bringing isekai to a new low. Now, I know me saying that may come as a shock. After all, I complained for months about Cheat Magician, saying it could never get worse and that it was the worst anime I thought I'd ever seen. Well, it takes a functioning human to admit that he's wrong, and I am nothing if not functioning at the bare minimum. I was wrong about Cheat Magician, and it's honestly probably my fault that this new anime even exists. Me saying that anime couldn't get worse was basically challenging Japan with middle fingers up, and now I know they do not like that. So what makes this anime so bad? Well, the short answer is everything. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. If you did end up enjoying this one, please leave a like and subscribe. Just kidding, the video isn't over. That was a little bit of, just a tiny bit of comedy for you. But I was serious when I said that what makes this anime bad is everything. From the shallow and confusing characters to the bland world and storylines. On paper, it doesn't sound that bad. High school geniuses from our modern world of technology get sent to a fantasy world completely lacking in that regard. Almost a Dr. Stone-esque fantasy isekai. In reality, though, that summary was nothing but lies, and what it should have actually said was, a group of all-powerful deities create and then destabilize their own world and society. What are you talking about, anime cynic? They're just prodigies in their chosen fields, not gods, I hear the voices in my head asking. Well, yes, but actually no. It does not matter how smart you are. There are certain things you just cannot do, even with 400 IQ glowy brain power. I don't want to go over every one of the prodigies in great detail, but I will go over the more ludicrous things that some of them are able to do. Starting with our heterochromic hero himself, Tsukasa, I'm not Japanese, aka the world's greatest politician. He is the Prime Minister of Japan due to his, talent? Now, when making this video, I looked up how old you needed to be to become Prime Minister in Japan. I was genuinely shocked to see it's 25 years old. I mean, I guess that's not weird, but if you'd asked me to guess the minimum age, I would have said something like 40 or 50, to be honest. Guess that's really more of a me issue, but it just threw me for a loop Googling that. Either way, we're faced with an issue, however. He is a high school prodigy, so he just cannot be Prime Minister if he's actually high school aged. In case you were curious, Japanese high schoolers are basically the same age as American ones. After looking up the Prime Minister age, I thought maybe Japanese high school ended at age 13 or something, so I looked that up too. Nope. So he is either way too young to be elected Prime Minister, or he is a 25-year-old high school student? Real brainlet we have here if it's taken him 7 extra years just to still be in high school. And this is like the first character we are exposed to, and more or less our main character. Also, he has this scene out of fucking nowhere, where he just says to this woman that he killed his father.
I'm kind of retarded.
But then proceeds to tell her the story, and that in no way at all did he actually kill his father. His father was a very corrupt politician, and he exposed his crimes leading him to receiving the death penalty. What a weird message to send. So he feels guilty about doing the right thing and putting an end to his father's crimes? This would be like if John Wayne Gacy had a son that turned him in and was racked with guilt over it. I mean, yeah, his dad was killed for his crimes, but to just say to someone who is basically a stranger that you killed your father seems a bit unreasonable. Just, what? I can't even think of anything to say. No analogy, no clever remarks, just confusion. Also, would the Japanese public even want to elect the son of a politician so corrupt that they killed him instantly when his crimes were found out? This is the first character we see in the show. I didn't pick him because it fit my narrative of bad characters. This is just me going in chronological order. Oh, and also this high school prime minister is being re-elected at the start of episode 1. So that means he's been prime minister for at least 2 years at this point. Are you trying to tell me he was first elected at like 13 or 14 years old? No thank you. While there could be more said about him, I think it's time we move on to some better but worse characters. There really isn't better characters in this show. There are 2 that I'm just not gonna touch, that being the world's best maker? Basically, she can create anything out of midair, and I mean literally anything, including a functioning missile defense system, by herself. Okay. And the other being the world's best sword swinger. She just does not obey the laws of human anatomy or physics in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I could go on, but we have 7 of these characters, and quite frankly, I'm already exhausted. The next character I do want to talk about, however, is the world's best doctor, aka the goddess of healing who can heal death itself with no equipment. It's like the person making this show was being told what a doctor was and kept falling asleep and absorbed random snippets of information and was just too embarrassed to ask for a refresher. In episode 3, we see her in action doing her doctor work. She's examining this guy who looks like he was hit in the chest by a lawnmower, going 45 miles per hour and somehow also shooting a gun. She even says that he has been in cardiac arrest for around 3 minutes, meaning she has, a minute or 2 to repair damage that would take a team of surgeons hours to make a dent in. And even if he lived by some fucking miracle, he'd wake up looking like this, because his brain was deprived of oxygen for so long. And she's just a random woman with literally no equipment whatsoever in the middle of a forest crawling with a bunch of scumfuck bacteria that would love any opportunity to jump into this guy's exposed colon. I didn't make that up, by the way. One of the things she talks about is how his colon is just absolutely wrecked. What about aftercare? Unless off-screen she brought the world's best nurse and the world's best physical therapist with her, this guy is still in just as much danger as before she got there. Never mind that, though. The field of medicine is one of highly specialized doctors who spend their whole lives learning about one thing. The whole point of having a GP is basically for them to refer you to other doctors who can actually fix your issue. Back in 2012, when I had a bad accident, I was sent to a surgeon who did literally nothing but operate on elbows and shoulders. His whole practice was based around 2 joints in the body, and yet this teenager is just able to be an all-encompassing doctor, surgeon, nurse, janitor, and therapy dog. I wonder if the people making this anime are just absolutely baffled by the concept of a hospital. Why have a huge building filled with specialists when you could just go to one person in a fucking mud hut and be cured of death itself? I'm done. I'm not doing anymore. Fine, I'll keep going, but I'm doing a rapid fire round to finish this video, and I don't care if it isn't good. How was this child even able to get any sort of business license in the first place to develop a company? Where did he get the massive amount of funds required to start a company? How is this magician performing complicated wire acts without any assistance? Where is he getting a continuous supply of never before seen magic items? How is being the world's best reporter somehow related to being a ninja? Why is she on top of this building, and how is she even going to get down? Why does this character even exist? This anime is horrible. There is just no other way to put it. And if you like it, then I'm sorry to say that you are 2IQ small brain. I'm not a very good reviewer. That's the main reason why I don't classify myself as one, and this anime just confirmed that for me. I do not possess the vocabulary necessary to explain to you just how terrible this anime is. When thinking about it, it feels like someone set off a biological EMP in my brain and scrambled all my neurons. Sad thing is, just a couple of months ago, we were all clowning on Isekai Cheat Magician, saying it was the worst anime of all time. We didn't realize how good we had it back then. Compared to this anime, Cheat Magician looks like a masterpiece of unfathomable quality. If you didn't know about this anime and I exposed you to it through this video, I am sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I am genuinely so sorry that I lessened your existence just by you now knowing that this exists. I know I use sarcasm a lot in videos due to my low self-esteem, but that was not sarcasm. I genuinely am sorry if I introduced this anime to you. If you enjoyed the video and want to subscribe, that's cool, but if you go give this anime 1-star ratings on Crunchyroll, that would be even cooler. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.